Arsene Wenger, the quiet, intelligent Frenchman.
Good afternoon.
Two of the greatest club sides anywhere in the world.
Well, this is defending into Bath.
Wenger's had a swipe at Manchester United again today. He's quite essay.
And he's hit the underside of the bar. Wenger and Ferguson have been asked by the football authorities to refrain from making inflammatory comments about each other.
When Sir Alex Ferguson took over Manchester United in 1986, the club was a shadow of its former self. Ferguson had one mission: knock Liverpool off their perch. By the early 90s, he'd built a dynasty. But just when it seemed like United would dominate unchallenged, a Frenchman arrived in North London. This sparked a bitter feud between a Frenchman and a Scotsman. Arsene Wenger was no ordinary appointment. Before joining Arsenal, he had been managing Nagoya Grampus 8 in Japan, a destination far removed from the spotlight of European football. His success there, transforming the team and winning silverware, caught the attention of Arsenal's board. Yet, when his appointment was announced in 1996, it sparked confusion and even ridicule in England. The phrase Arsene Who headlined newspapers, encapsulating the skepticism surrounding this unknown Frenchman. However, Wenger quickly silenced the doubters. With revolutionary ideas on diet, fitness, and tactics, he turned Arsenal into a trophy-winning team. And by 1998, Wenger's Arsenal delivered a crushing blow, winning the historic League and FA Cup double. The Premier League now wasn't Ferguson's playground anymore. Wenger's arrival marked a huge shift in English football. No longer could Manchester United dominate unchallenged. Arsenal's rise injected a new level of competition, forcing Ferguson to adapt to a rival who matched his tactical decisions and brought a new level of sophistication to the league. This was the beginning of a rivalry that would push both men and their teams to unprecedented heights. With Wenger's Arsenal playing elegant, attacking football and Ferguson's United playing with power and grit, the stage was set for an era of thrilling battles and contrasting styles. As their rivalry grew, so did the war of words. Ferguson, never one to shy away from a fight, frequently aimed barbs at Wenger, who wasn't afraid to respond in kind. But in 2005, their verbal fights reached a boiling point. Wenger claimed that Ferguson and his team received special treatment from officials, a sentiment he would reiterate throughout their rivalry. He argued that the balance of power was tilted, not just on the pitch, but in the corridors of power within English football. Ferguson, incensed by Wenger's comments, fired back with a now iconic line: "He's got to learn to keep his mouth shut." It was more than a retort, it was a declaration of war in the court of public opinion. The media lapped it up, framing the feud as a battle of egos as much as tactics. For Wenger, it was not just about Ferguson's United, it was about what he saw as systemic bias. For Ferguson, it was about silencing a rival who dared to question his authority. Their public spats were theatre for fans, but they also revealed the immense pressure both men were under. Wenger believed he was fighting not just United, but the very structures of English football. Ferguson, ever the pragmatist, thrived in the chaos. In many ways, "keep your mouth shut" became a defining moment in their rivalry, a phrase that symbolized their stark differences in personality and approach. For Ferguson, it was about control. For Wenger, it was about principle. Here are some iconic moments. Vieira versus Keane, the ultimate gladiators. Whether it was Keane's ferocious tackling or Vieira's commanding presence in midfield, every encounter felt like the heartbeat of the Arsenal United rivalry. The Battle of Old Trafford, a ferocious clash in 2003 where Arsenal's unbeaten run was nearly derailed, leading to a mass confrontation and lasting animosity between the teams. And Pizzagate, a moment of chaos and infamy following Arsenal's draw at Old Trafford in 2004. Tempers flared in the tunnel after the game, and in the midst of the heat later, Arsenal says Fabregas admitted to being the one who launched the pizza, adding a surreal yet unforgettable twist to the already bitter rivalry. In 2004, Arsene Wenger's Arsenal achieved what many believed to be impossible, an entire Premier League season without a single defeat, 49 games unbeaten, the Invincibles. It was a moment of unparalleled brilliance, a team etched into history. Thierry Henry's genius, Patrick Vieira's leadership, and Wenger's tactical vision came together to redefine dominance in English football. Manchester United had no answer. Ferguson's empire, for once, looked vulnerable. For Wenger, it was vindication. His philosophy had reached its zenith, and Arsenal were untouchable. But for every great run, there's an end. A contentious penalty awarded to United gave Ruud van Nistelrooy the chance to put his demons from the previous season's clash behind him. He made no mistake. Later, Wayne Rooney sealed the victory with a second goal. Arsenal's unbeaten run was over. After Arsenal's Invincibles season in 2004, the Premier League entered a new era of competition. Roman Abramovich's billions transformed Chelsea into a powerhouse, and Jose Mourinho's arrival added a new antagonist to the narrative. Suddenly, it wasn't just Arsenal and Manchester United in the mix. The league became a battlefield, with different clubs rising to the challenge year after year. While Arsenal struggled to maintain their dominance, Manchester United, under Ferguson's unrelenting leadership, continued to adapt and succeed. In 2013, after 26 years at the helm, Sir Alex Ferguson retired from Manchester United. It marked the end of an era, one defined not only by his incredible success but also by the rivalries that had pushed him to greatness. For Ferguson, Wenger was one of those rivals. Despite their many clashes, Ferguson later admitted that Wenger's Arsenal forced him to adapt, to innovate, and to push the boundaries of what his United teams could achieve. When Wenger announced his departure in 2018, it was Ferguson who led the tributes. His heartfelt speech acknowledged the role Wenger had played not just in their rivalry but in shaping the Premier League itself. Rivals, yes. But also allies in creating an unforgettable era of English football. Their battles were fierce, their exchanges often bitter, but their shared legacy is undeniable. Arsene Wenger. Sir Alex Ferguson. Together, they didn't just shape the Premier League, they defined it.